So in this video, we're going to be covering a really useful nutrition tip. Why something as simple as this over this, or this over this, and this over this are some small but key decisions you can make to supercharging your health and wellness practice. And if you happen to be on a weight loss journey, then it's going to perhaps be even more useful. As we dive into this video, I want to share one really useful thing which Michael Johnson, ex-former 100 and 200 meter sprinter, said that I really liked in the context of this video. And that was to have a list. He said when he was training to be at the highest performance levels in his sport, he used to make sure he went into the supermarket with a list. And we're going to be talking about food items in the context of this video today. And I think it's really important to start developing that list. One thing I really noticed was by having a list, you'd go into the supermarket, you don't indulge in all the marketing and all the other things that want to pull you in to buy and pick these things off the shelf, and you just go in and buy all the things you need. The other thing I found really insightful was when I went to a supermarket I don't normally go to with my list, and having to go and find these items within that store was actually quite a stressful experience. Having to ignore all the marketing, all the colors, and all these other things on the shelves that wanted to be in my head and in my basket eventually. So while we're on this topic of health, wellness, and nutrition, I have a 30-day free health and wellness series on my website that you can sign up to if you're looking for something to keep you focused and keep your mind on improving your all-round health and wellness. This might be something you're interested in and want to sign up to. So diving into the overarching tip of this video, and that is to eat and pick food that curb your cravings rather than give you more cravings. And this could be something as simple as picking a slightly different item to the one that you're used to. Now, we're going to talk about the first one, which is picking this one, which is a dark chocolate for me, over something like a milky, much sweeter chocolate, or at least it tastes much sweeter. And we're talking about something here much more significant than the difference in calories. We're talking about what happens and what behaviors come after eating these two things. I can tell you in an experiment I ran this week where I was trying to get something sweeter into my desserts, have something small but sweet to eat after my dinner. When I ate something that was more darker based as a chocolate, which I enjoyed, it satisfied that craving. I didn't feel like I wanted to eat more, and the amount I set myself to eat satisfied me such that I didn't want to eat anymore. Now, when I tried to do something similar with this chocolate, I have to say I felt like I wanted to eat more. Whether it's the slightly sweeter element of there being a small amount of sugar higher in this than in the dark chocolate, or whether it's just the dark chocolate giving me a bit more satisfaction in terms of those taste buds and that bitterness that I don't actually crave anymore. This is far more useful as a tool in terms of something to eat after my dinner to satisfy my sweet tooth, but also not lead to more cravings. Now, I don't want to demonize milk chocolate or something else that you might like completely. And the one thing I would say is there is a time and place for some of these things. Now, for example, I bought this as an example for this video. I have eaten from this packet. And the time where I've actually eaten more from this packet is before a workout, because I actually don't mind having a slightly higher sugar content in food before a workout when I'm going to use up these carbohydrates and I'm going to the gym. So actually that craving for more chocolate is probably going to go away quite naturally. And I'm not going to be in a place where I can sit there and just chow through more of this. I think the interesting thing here to also note, and it proves my point completely, is the fact that I bought these two packets at exactly the same time. There is still a significant amount left in this pack, at least more than half a bar. And when I'm looking at the exact milk chocolate box, it is completely empty. And that is literally the thing that I'm trying to share with you in terms of a tip here. Two chocolates, slightly different, one more bitter than the other because it's darker. One I have ravaged through in the same amount of time that I've had this one. Now, as you can imagine, just for general everyday health, this is going to be a better choice because I don't need those extra calories. And if I'm on a weight loss journey, then at the same time, this is going to be a better choice for me too. My other example, so this actually came about really naturally, where I picked something to eat with some cottage cheese as an evening snack. And initially, I bought these seeded oat cakes. And I have to say, they satisfied me in terms of having something to eat my cottage cheese on in the evening. But I did not get fully satisfied from the taste potentially. I felt like I wanted to try something else. I was used to eating a different kind of cracker, and this cracker just didn't actually satisfy it as much as I was expecting. So the next time I went to the supermarket, I ended up buying these crackers off the shelf, and I ate my cottage cheese with these in the evenings. And what happened was exactly what I am making a point about in this video again, is I ravaged through these. I wanted to eat more cottage cheese rather than having it as a snack when I needed to curb some hunger, maybe in the evening or between meals. I ended up wanting to eat these and the cottage cheese as a meal frequently throughout the day. As an example, again, I bought these again at the same time, the timing of this video, and I've taped this box back up again, but it is empty, uh, as you might find. This one is still relatively full. So, again, speaking about a small thing you can do, these are both crackers and they both serve a purpose. Maybe occasionally I'll treat myself to these, but in terms of my everyday diet and what this is meant to be doing for me, I'm going to stick with these. Maybe these crackers didn't completely satisfy my taste from that perspective, but they made me feel full. And in all honesty, that slight absence of flavor and taste didn't mean I was searching for more crackers or I had to go out and get something else. It just meant I didn't want to eat more crackers and cottage cheese, which is exactly the result I was looking for. The final example I wanted to say was I have these as my go to desperate food item in my fridge. And I also have this as part of my weekly food prep. Now, this is far more obvious in terms of an example. This is more processed. Your chicken breast that is just lean and has nothing else added to it is going to be a healthy option. That's obvious. I'm not trying to kind of explain that to you. But I will say this serves a purpose. I'm not trying to demonize everything you might have that helps you get through your diet. I don't rely on these for my dinner. These are not a part of my regular meal, but they have a place in my freezer. On those occasions, I get it wrong. Maybe I've trained really hard one day and my diet hasn't quite been there to satisfy that craving and I can't get to sleep without eating something, which sometimes does happen to me. Well, then I've got something like that to cook quickly at night. It actually prevents me from ordering something worse, like takeout food, chips, burgers, etc. So it's definitely the lesser of the evil or worse options. And at the same time, I'm not going to get chicken breast out unless they're cooked in the middle of the evening and have that to eat, even though that would probably satisfy not the craving, but that calorie need. I prep my food every week. And for that reason, I sometimes do have chicken in the fridge that I can have late at night if I feel like it. But I had that as a backup plan. So there you go. This was meant to be a quick little video. I hope that's encouraged you and convinced you to make some smarter choices. Remember, the things that we naturally think we crave or prefer actually are just a little bit of a manipulation. Either it's been fed to us by a marketing tool that we love this thing, or it's got chemicals in there or a combination of chemicals like sugars and fats that light up these things in our brains and tell us they make us feel good. And really, that's not the full truth. Obviously, the things that make us feel good, it's a far more complex thing to answer. And maybe it's not just things that make us feel mentally good, but the things that make us feel physically good and enable us to have a healthier life and train harder in the gym, maybe, and look the way you want to as well. So take it from me, make some smaller, smarter choices for your everyday nutritional needs, and then you can throw in things here and there depending on your lifestyle and needs. I hope you found that useful, and I will see you in another video.